All right, shalom, shalom. First off, give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Makar Kadash. Dub honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity, all the men and the women who follow. So, you got another lesson coming back at you. This is a kind of response video, but, just going into what these brothers were talking about, man. I'm gonna put this the link in the description to this video. A lot of good information, man. 49 minutes 38 seconds worth of pure beautiful energy and edification. So call Allah Yabashim Yashai for that. Just want to touch on a couple of topics that this guy right here, Larry Johnson, was going in on the video. He mentioned a couple of things, and I felt like they were noteworthy, so I did some research on them, and that's what I'm presenting here today to you. All right, the research that I found. So he mentioned, I don't have the time on here when he said it, but he said basically going into the conflict with Iran bombing Israel. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. If you don't know, all right, Israel bombed a. Well, let's get the article. Here we go. This is from theconversation.com. It says, "Are embassies off limits? Ecuadorian and Israeli actions suggest otherwise, and that sets a dangerous diplomatic precedent." Okay, it says, and I'm not going to read all of these articles in full. I will have everything in the description. All right, it says, "It has long been held that embassies should be treated as off limits, all right, to other nations. Yet in a single week, two governments, both long-established democracies, stand accused of violating in different ways the laws surrounding foreign diplomatic missions." All right, the first on April 1st, 2024, Iran's embassy in Damascus was bombed, presumably by Israel, killing several high-ranking commanders of the Quds Force of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. All right, so Israel bombed the embassy in Damascus, which was Iran, killing their high-ranking officials. All right, that's what happened. And what your boy here, Larry Johnson, was saying is that's a violation of the Vienna Convention. So what exactly is the Vienna Convention? Well, it's exactly that these embassies are off limits. Okay, you can't just go around killing high-ranking officials for other nations while they're in a protected place like an embassy. You're not supposed to be killing any, assassinating. That's really what it is. It's an assassination. You're not supposed to be assassinating generals, of other countries, in the open like that. But, that goes into since we're here, Israel has they're very high-minded. All right, so I want to get this scripture. This is Isaiah 14:11. It says, "Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, the noise of thy vows, the worm is spread under thee, the worms cover thee." So basically, that being high-mindedness is going to get you killed, going to get you X'd out. Oh, and that's speaking about these ish people. All right, the rallies, as I as I call them, JOOs. But going into that word pomp, all right, it's Strong's H1347 Gayan. It says exaltation, majesty, pride. Okay, going into pride and arrogance, pretty much in a bad sense. And these are very arrogant people to blatantly, cross this is international law. It says, although any attack on a diplomatic mission is a clear violation of the 1961 Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations, the Israeli leader proceeded, hoping to divert attention from his failures at the Israeli war on Gaza. So, because they failed in Gaza, he did this as kind of like a red herring or kind of like a distraction, thinking that it'd be okay to just to get, everyone's mind off of Gaza. But now look what happened. But to go a little bit deeper into it, they've been doing this, so why would they expect them to retaliate? Why would they expect Iran to retaliate? Okay? When you Google Israel assassination on Iran, it talks about the assassination of Iranian nuclear scientists. They've been doing this. Okay? Let's get this article. It says, this is from the New York Times, way back in 2021. It says the scientists in the AI-assisted remote control killing machine. Israeli agents had wanted to kill Iran's top nuclear scientists for years. Then they came up with a way to do it with no operatives present. So, if you want, you can go into this. It's a lot, so I'm just going to kind of skim and scan and just, brush through these articles. But you can see they've been killing Iran's top nuclear scientists for years. And, the brothers was going in on that. So definitely suggest that you watch this video. If you haven't seen this video, usually you want to pause my video and go watch it. I suggest it, because then you get the full picture. And I'm just covering, a small amount of what they were going into, but just shedding that light on there, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So now that we know what the Vienna Convention is and how they violated it, okay, by basically killing diplomats, all right, in an embassy, all right. He also stated that they violated Article 51 of the UN Charter, all right, and it says, nothing in the present charter shall impair the inherent right of an individual or collective self-defense if an armed attack occurs against a member of the United Nations. Okay? And it has a caveat. So basically, nothing's going to stop you from defending yourself against if someone attacks your nation until the Security Council has taken the measures necessary to maintain international peace and security. So basically, when one country attacks another country, this country can basically attack back until, the UN Council comes down and says, hey, you guys need to get along. So what happened with that? Well, let's see. Let me see where we at. This is from Reuters. It says, it's dated on April 11th. UN Security Council should have condemned Iran embassy attack in Syria, but they didn't. That's their job. Why? Why didn't they do it? Because they're biased. They have, we all know that the United States, okay, America, Babylon the Great, runs the world. All right, nobody moves until they move. When they say move, you better move. All right, so when the United States then condemned it, nobody else condemned it, including the so-called law of the land, the United Nations. So imagine you're in this group, the United Nations, and you get bombed, and nobody steps up. All right. What nations are in the Security Council? Let's look that up. All right, China, France, China, the United States, France, the United Kingdom, and the Russian Federation. All right, so and these are actually Russia is actually an ally of Iran, but it's only 1/5. And if say Russia says, hey, we need to say something, and China says, hey, we need to say something, but the United States, France, and the United Kingdom says, well, no, we don't need to say nothing. Well, they've been vetoed. So the Security Council has 15 members, 5 permanent members: China, France, Russia, all right, the United Kingdom and Great Britain, Northern Ireland, United States, and 10 non-permanent members, 5 of which are elected each year by the General Assembly for a 2-year term. So, okay, it's actually 15 countries, and they rotate, but those are the 5 basic members. So I misspoke, Slovakia, for that. But basically, at the end of the day, no condemnation came. Okay, I'm kind of lost real quick. Hold on. No condemnation came. So it says from Washington on April 11th, it says the imperative for Iran to retaliate for the attack on its embassy compound in Damascus might have been avoided had the UN Security Council condemned the strike. Tehran's mission to the United Nations said on Thursday. Had the United United Nations Security Council condemned the Zionist regime's reprehensible act of aggression on our diplomatic premises in Damascus, because when you have an embassy, that embassy is like an extension of your country. So let's get this. Mexican embassy, I believe it's in New York. So this is the Mexican consulate, okay, basically the embassy for Mexico in New York for America. Okay, this building right here. This is essentially Mexico. You go past these gates, you're essentially in Mexico. Okay, it's foreign territory. So what they did, they basically attacked Israel. They attacked Iran's embassy that was in Syria. It was nearby, so it's easier to just attack Iran via, the embassy within Syria. It's kind of like, like you want to fight somebody, but you don't want to fight them straight up, so you kick the back of their knee. That's what they did. They basically kicked the back of their knee. So let me see. It says, had the UN Security Council condemned the Zionist regime's reprehensible act of aggression on our diplomatic premises in Damascus, and subsequently brought to justice its perpetrators, right? Because it is a crime, an international crime, as we said, violating the Vienna Convention, and basically Iran is justified because they didn't take any measures necessary to maintain international peace and security. It says the imperative for Iran to punish this rogue regime might have been obliviated, the mission said on social media platform X. So, hey, had they just done their job, okay, if this was America, if this was the American embassy in Egypt, the American embassy in China, the American embassy anywhere around the world, I bet you it would have been condemned then. But because you didn't want to back Iran, Iran did this. Oh, hold on. I'm not sure what that is from. or where it came from. Hold up. I got a lot of articles. Bear with me. It had to be this one then. Yep, Saki. Says Iran doubles down on right to self-defense in UN Security Council address. So, hey, they doubled down like, hey, bro, they violated. We have the right, according to Article 51, to self-defense and armed attack. They attacked us. We can self-defend us because you did nothing to keep the peace. And they're justified. And as I said before, Iran been suffering these, assassinations. All these nuclear scientists, all these high-level generals being killed, being knocked off. That's why the brothers were saying, it's about damn time. Now we can get into, the good stuff. And what is the U.S. saying? The U.S. suggests that U.S. suggests Israel needs not to retaliate against Iran, because Iran already said that, hey, if they retaliate, our retaliation will be within seconds. Okay? Small level push button warfare. Let's get that definition. Fuck you. I guess it's just a saying, no really definition. Let me see. Push button warfare says using complex automated weapons as long-range missiles that require only simple initial steps to put them into action. Push button warfare. So basically, let me see. A push button, also a simple button, is a simple switch mechanism to control some aspect of a machine or process. So basically, if Israel, pushes a button and they send their little rockets over to Iran, Iran's gonna push their button and send their rockets right back over to Israel. Okay, and it's not necessarily nuclear weapons, but it's gonna be tit for tat. Okay. So, like I said, the UN is saying, Israel is demanding that Iran be punished for the attack. Well, you started it. So they want Iran to be punished because they were retaliating against your attack? It says Israel demanded Sunday. This is from voanews.com. It says, Israel demanded Sunday that the UN Security Council act to punish and deter Iran following unprecedented Iranian military strike on Israel that Tehran said was in retaliation for a suspected Israeli strike on embassy in Syria earlier this month. This is crazy. You really can't. Well, that's going back to their pomp, man, and their pride. If the pride is taking them, okay. But this is all leading up to this third world war, which this is Mark 13:7. It says, "And when you should hear of wars and rumors of wars, be not troubled, for these things must be, but the end shall not be yet." All right, so we know that we're getting to the end, but we know that this isn't going to be the end all be all. We still, the MOTB has to be let loose. The Jacob's trouble has to come. But hey, man, the scriptures say that, Jeremiah 50:45, therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord, that he hath taken against Babylon and his purposes, and he hath purpose against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. And that least of the flock is talking about those Israelis, the same ones who struck in Israel, in Syria, Iran's embassy, the same ones who were then struck back and are demanding punishment, the same ones who says Iran attack, Israeli response to attack may be imminent. So even though the U.S. warned them or not to retaliate, they still want to. There's a good chance it says Israel is deciding its next steps after Iran's retaliatory attack, as fears of a wider war in the Middle East grow. So this thing can be a powder keg. It can blow up at any time. It says an Israeli response to Iran's retaliatory attack may be imminent, a source told NBC's News, as Israel weighs its next steps after a meeting of the country's war cabinet today. And that was dated today of April 15th. So, hey man, the Lord is working on the hearts of these nations. He's bringing everything to a boil. Alright? He set up these laws, and matter of fact, that's what I wanted to go call Law Yabashim Al-Shai. This 1961 Vienna Convention, saying that you can't attack any diplomatic mission. I can almost guarantee, I can do everything short of guaranteeing you that this was originally set up to deter the Russians. Alright? Probably same with this. Everything in that time period was basically in that Cold War time period was to ostracize the Russians. That's why it says individual or collective self-defense, because NATO has a self-defense pact with each other. So if you attack any NATO nation, alright, the whole collective will, in self-defense, attack you. So Iran is basically using their, rules, their laws against them. Like, hey, you said that if we're attacked, then we can use self-defense to, retaliate until, peace talks come. So, hey, the Lord is working on the mind of these kings of these lands, and hey, war's on the horizon. Salvation is on the horizon. Hey, Jacob's trouble is on the horizon. It ain't all good. It ain't all sunshine. It's, even great darkness, even very dark. All right, the MOTB is right there. All this is knocking at the door, man. So just stay strong, stay in the right mind, stay prayed up, and with that being said, we're gonna give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Makar Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity of the men and the women who follow. Shalom.